Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Yeah, we're getting another late start today, but
We're like wizards. We're exactly on time.
yeah. Well, at least we're going to get a broadcast in. I hope that it's not too late for some of you to stop by and see us. I'm Mike Jones. This is Mike Jones Draws. Welcome and happy Sunday. We are.
The nighttime is the right time.
Anytime's a great time, I think, to make content. The world needs more content. Always will need content, and we're just providing our tiny little slice of it.
Yeah, you better hope the boss doesn't write us up or something.
The boss of who?
Yeah, exactly.
We're the boss. There's the Jacoboon over there, my trusted friend and associate.
Hello, Internet.
Who is always masterminding our broadcasts, which I'm very grateful for. There he is.
Kyle.
Love you, man. Sorry I missed you this weekend. I'm going to try and make it next weekend. But I hope you do, Kyle. I hope you do. I missed you too, man. We had a good time. We had a little too much fun perhaps, but we had a good time. The volume seems low. Hi, Casey. We had fun.
Everything's the same here, Casey.
Yeah, Casey's visiting, and Kyle had to stay home for some reason. I think it was something or other thing he had to take care of or do. How's the volume now? Can you hear it now, Case? Hey, how's it going? We're a little late getting started today. I guess maybe you're right, Kyle. There is no such thing as too much fun, but it can get a little out of hand occasionally when you involve alcohol. However, we usually have a pretty good time. Me and Mandy actually had a good time. We had a good visit, and we enjoyed I finally went. What I remember of eating my steak, I think I remember eating my steak. I think I dumped it on the floor, picked it back up, and ate it.
Nice.
That's how I was. Okay.
Floor steak.
And it wasn't that bad. I think I dropped a little potato on the floor.
Little floor meat.
I think I dropped my plate on the floor. That's what I did. From what I remember. Oh no!
Hello, Randy.
Hey, Bo. My sister always likes to drop in and say hello to me, and I appreciate that. I'm starting a new job. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, okay. I knew it was something important.
Hey, congrats on the new job.
Congrats on the new job, man, and congrats on your new house. I'm really ecstatic about you guys getting out, building a house. That's fantastic. That's why it didn't make sense. What? Okay.
Good.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you couldn't be with us, but I know you have to take care of what you got to do, man. But we'll see you on the 4th. We'll be toasting each other on the 4th. All right, man?
Clink.
I love you. Thank you for stopping in and showing some support for my program. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend and good luck with your test. I'm sure you'll pass it. Today we're working on the Scarlet Mutton, kind of partially. But we're getting away from that for a little while, and we're going to start another project here. Oh, I know that. We talked about that briefly too. A housewarming party for that house? Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, that's gonna be the party of the century.
I'll bring the camera equipment.
And we'll bring the camera equipment. We'll photograph the whole thing, man. It'll be a Mike Jones production, Reed Jones production. I know it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. And I really can't wait to meet your parents and your side of the family and see what's going on. I know that's going to happen, man. I don't know how long you said exactly it was going to take the house to get built. What do you think it'll be built in? 6 months, 8 months, 10 months? One for the record books, you better believe it. Yeah, one for the ages, for sure. For sure. Today I'm going to be going back to a piece I did back in 2018. Only was 1918. Yeah, right. I did that in 2018. It's a power symbol, I guess we're calling it.
Symbol of power.
Symbol of life. The tree.
Yes.
And a little Zentangle pattern around it.
Just a little.
All different kinds of stuff, representing different things. And I'm going to ink this. And there's a rainbow there too. Rainbow coming in, rain and thunder, clouds and sunshine, water, or willowy water, foresty grass, leaves. I don't know what this thing is down here. Some kind of a plant thing, showing kind of like roots, earth. And then over here, just another weird pattern of like rows of some, like, I don't know, rows of tilled farmland or something. And over here, some what appears to be rocks, a mountain. And then over here, this is just ridiculousness. It's nothing. This is just a Zentangle pattern of repeated shapes. But it shouldn't be difficult to ink it. That I was thinking about how I wanted to color it, and I think that's probably what's held me back from doing a color version of this. Besides that, I think that this could be inked in black and white and then retraced onto another board where I can just paint it. Just go straight to paint. As long as I have my lines on it, I could put it on something a little bigger, a little harder, like an acrylic board. Like an acrylic board, like I do my old comic recreations. By the way, I think I would like to. Well, they see them on my slideshow. They see them, so they know what they are. Anybody want to see one? I'll show you one. I'll show you one of my old. They're very old, but I don't do them anymore because I'm doing what I believe to be more original stuff now. So, yeah, let's see what we can do to this.
So
see, we need a fresh Sharpie for this, but I'm going to ink this, and then I'm going to redo it. I'm going to redo it again so that I can make a color version of it. I don't think I want to take color to. I don't want to take paint to this paper. I want to take it to an illustration board because it'll take the paint better. You can use acrylics on it, and it would take it, and it would, it was coming out looking a lot like those, as far as the inking and the coloring. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get to it.
So, you've seen the black skull. There's the greeting card right there. And then this is going to be the green tree. It's part of, there's 5 symbols of power that we're going to use. We got the black skull, the green tree, we got the blue water drop, the red fireball, and then we got the white sun. It might resemble something else that you may have heard of, maybe a popular card game. Who knows? I don't know. There's actually a backstory to these pieces, but I guess.
Yeah, I guess there is. You could tell it if you like.
I suppose I'm kind of. It's too late now, huh? I'm already in. So I got what? 2018 was it?
Yeah, when we drew these.
So there was a guy that had a card shop somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And wanted to commission these 5 pieces to hang up in his card shop, but he was several hours away from us.
He's in Orlando, about 2 hours away.
And he had a better half, which was involved in the negotiation. Anyway, it fell through, and we were left with these 5 amazing pieces of artwork with really nothing to do with them. So Mike took the black skull because it's black, and he's a kind of a black and white.
I like doing black and white art.
Specialty. So he finished up the black one, and we went with that, and then put these others on the back burner to come back to one day. And I guess that brings us full circle to right now at this current juncture in time?
Well, we thought we'd get away from the Scarlet Mutton for a little while. I mean, I don't want to bore anybody with it. It really won't be totally appreciated until it's in its final form anyway, really, because then you can read it.
Yeah.
Right now it's broken down in bits and pieces. We're going back and forth, trying to connect all the dots and cross all the T's and dot the I's and all that. And it's taking a little while to do it because it's going to end up being like 52 pages. This is really quite a comic in terms of size. But I think it's a proper way to debut a character with a special size issue. Yeah, this tree is pretty simplistic in terms of design.
So I'm going to try and pick some music today that doesn't get muted.
Well, you did pretty good when we did our first comeback broadcast with Safety Last.
Right. Safety Last and Robin Hood we know are good, and that gives us several hours. We can just
We'll be
play
fine.
music into the wee hours of the morning.
We will be fine, so. But anyway, I'm getting more and more excited about the Scarlet Mutton and how it's turning out. And I really think it's going to be an interesting comic when it's done.
So I'm really curious to see how this evolves into what kind of color you're going to use, what paint,
Well,
or whatever. I just, yeah.
There's so many ways you could color this.
I
There's a
know.
lot of different ways, you know. You do some standard colors, make the tree green.
But it
And
has
then
a
make
lot of
everything else-
implications because
Huh?
whatever you do for this one, you know you're going to have to do for the rest of them.
Why is that?
Well, consistency, right? Like it's a 5-piece set.
The only thing that I think, well, the consistency will come in the fact that there's Zentangle on each one.
Okay.
And,
Sure, maybe a little bit better airbrush.
but as far as the color scheme, I know that there's supposed to be a certain color symbol. And I want to stay with those colors and colors that complement
Yes.
those colors.
Yes.
Like if this had green in it, or varying shades of green and brown, let's say,
Sure.
I'd want to use like an orange or a purple to offset those colors. So, you know, yellow, something that complements it. You know. Thank you very much, Kyle. When I first started drawing, when I was a child, the first thing I ever learned how to do was trace. And I used to trace comic characters and stuff because I didn't know how to build a drawing, and or how to best to utilize these tools. You know, but thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I appreciate your compliment. Sometimes I screw up with it too, man, and that's the thing when you're working with pen and ink. Yes, I am ambidextrous. Yes, I am. I draw with both hands. But certain you'll see that certain lines, certain types of lines, I'm more comfortable with my right than my left. You know, and other things I can't draw with my right. It's weird. It's very strange. This drawing should have been cleaned up one time before I did this. I'm going to be having to clean it up as I go along.
Yeah, the hand switching, the right to left, that's kind of crazy. That's
Yeah.
something you don't see. But you get that here at Mike Jones Draws. You get that crazy right-left ambidextrous hand switching.
That's true.
Southpaw for life. Nice. Goofy.
It's
Goofy-handed.
I guess it kind of sets me apart in some ways, but
I need to make a clip reel of just a montage just full of him switching from right to left.
that'd be cool for
That'd be a good
for a
YouTube
video.
That'd be a good YouTube video, right?
Sure would. Why don't we do that?
And then challenge the internet. Make a meme out of it. Boom. That's our ticket. Get 10 million views in a week.
That would be awesome, man.
That'd take a lot of work.
Yeah, but
Oh,
all worthwhile things take a lot of work.
So many good ideas. So little time.
There's plenty of time if you care to spend it doing it. I changed my schedule at work just so that I could have more time to do this. Probably missing out on about $100 every weekend because I'm doing this instead of going to work at Domino's or wherever. There's
Brian, there he is.
Who is it? Brian. Hello, Brian. You well, we're just working on this right now. Working on something different today. A little bit of design.
Some Zentangle madness.
Zentangle madness. And that's all we're doing, man. What's going on with you? Did you talk to our buddy Pete Bannicky? Say hello to him for me. Should be at this for a little while, but I got a feeling that it won't be a super long broadcast today. Should have done that. That's what I should have done. Oh well. Yeah, that line's bad. It's not bad, just too thick. Well, I'll go back and clean that up. Okay, this is. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had that coming down. Getting bored, Jacob? I'm sorry, I'm kind of quiet today. I'm really kind of getting into this a little bit.
I'm bored. I don't like that, man. They got that. They got that energy.
It's nice that everybody steps up. I wonder what Brian doing.
I don't know where Brian went, Mike.
Hmm?
I don't know where Brian went. Who knows? Who knows?
Brian said he was thinking about coming over with an old friend of ours from the store, Pete Bannicky.
Oh.
Guy that bought the Spider-Man piece from me.
Okay. I knew the name sounded familiar.
He used to work at Domino's. So, do some of this. Yeah, it's time to start another Sharpie marker. This one's still good for blacks, but it's not good for the fine line I need.
Luckily, you've got
I
pack full.
I am a spokesman for Sharpie markers, I must say. I would sell them if they would endorse me. I would sell Sharpie markers for these guys because I tell you, I'm one of their greatest customers. I buy more Sharpie markers than...
So, Sharpie, if you're listening.
Sharpie, if you're listening, I really need a set of black markers, you know, to continue the show.
about the band.
Probably should give Claude a call later, see if he received that. Did you check your phone to see if he tried to contact you? Received that. Did you check your phone?
Don't look like it.
Okay. I'll give him a call later.
Hey, Marshall.
Marshall.
What's up, boy? Meow.
Marshall speaking to me, and I wish I knew what you were saying, buddy.
He said, "What's going on back here, fellas?"
Is it time for dinner again? Did I miss that?
Casey says, hey Marshall. She also says, I'm gonna come over Tuesday after work. Maybe. Let's think of something for dinner. I'll cook.
Okay. Okay. I remember you guys said you were going to come over and go to the pool maybe for a little while. On Tuesday I'm free. I know your father's free. So yeah, I'll tell him and we'll get back to you on that and let you know what you want. You know, if you got any ideas what you want to do, go ahead and just we're game for pretty much anything. We know we can.
Lobster tail.
Anybody wants to cook for me, I don't care what they cook, man. I'm there. I'll provide a mouth to feed, baby. Love you, Casey. I'm very proud of you, sweetheart. I hope to see you Tuesday. All right? I'll be home around 4:30. I don't know what time you're going to be able to come over, but I'll be home around 4:30 or so. Have a nice evening, I'm sure. I hope the weather holds up for us so we can take a little dip in the pool.
It rains every day.
Well, it hasn't always. It wasn't for a while.
Speaking of rain.
It's coming now, huh?
Yeah.
Thank God we're inside.
Yeah. And my windows are up.
Yes, you drove the van?
Of course.
Of course. That's the new Jacob mobile.
It's nice having a vehicle you can stand up in.
The Brendla car. The Brendla truck.
The Brendla mobile. It's like Wayne's World, the Mirth mobile.
I watched that today. Wayne's World was on today. I watched a part of it. I wanted to watch the whole thing, but I had something to do, so...
It's a great movie.
It reminds me of basically what we're doing, you know?
Brian says, are you going to color that with pencils?
Don't know, Brian, what I'm going to do. I think I might paint it, but not this copy. What I'll probably have to do is trace it onto an illustration board, a real nice board, and I use acrylic paint and just acrylic paint it. And then ink it. It would look really sweet that way. But this one here, I mean, I'm going to make duplicates of this before I color or try to attempt to color this. This I may not color. I may just leave it black and white and just trace it again for a color version, so that I have the black and white version and the color version. That's usually the plan with these kinds of things. But I don't know. I mean, I'd probably go with. I mean, there's a lot of mediums you could use. I could try some watercolor on it, or some pastel, or.
I think watercolor would look really good for this.
I think it would too, actually. Then I can get those pastel-y light colors that I think it requires.
It's abstract, you know.
Yes.
In which watercolor is not a very delineated medium, so
true,
lends itself to the abstract nature.
You're right, man.
But then again, some Bob Ross acrylic would also be very nice.
Acrylic, you can do a lot of nice things with acrylic paint, man. But if you want those really soft colors, those really
gradual
soft colors, blend colored pencil or use like a watercolor or oil. I mean, not that you can't blend. You can certainly blend acrylic paint, but it dries fast. Who's that?
Says I watched David Finch yesterday use a cool technique where he inked it with the black colored pencil and planned his colors with colored pencils.
Well, sure.
Then he went into acrylic.
Right. I think that's a good idea to make a base. A color by color.
Color by color.
Yeah. To figure out which colors you want to use by attempting it with a different medium.
And then painting over it.
But you'd have to redraw the thing a couple times in order to, you can only pick out one. You can only use one medium at a time. I mean, you could blend mediums like with the acrylic boards. I can blend acrylic paint with India ink, and it comes out really crisp and beautiful. But there are other, I would probably do it on an illustration board, a real nice one. Like the kind I did my comic book recreation paintings on. Those hold paint super well, and they're more. How should I put that? If I sold the original, it would be substantial. It would be a substantial piece. It would be something that you would really be able to really frame and hang on your wall nicely. It's not just a piece of paper.
Right. That you need to get framed. Ready to hang.
I don't know. I'd like to see all my pictures rendered in various media. Yeah. I'd like to try a little bit of everything, but as far as I'm really kind of more sure about the way I color with colored pencils than I am with the way I color with paint.
Yeah.
I got to work on my painting techniques, man. I am going to do a color Scarlet Mutton poster in color, and I'm going to try to stylize it somewhat. Okay, like it got me that original cover idea that I did for the book got me inspired as to more of a design element kind of a poster, combined with old 1930s movie poster techniques, man. Really cool, cool visuals, and it's a cool way to color the thing too, because it'll have a certain motif, a certain color motif. Use a lot of purples and blues and to offset the brilliant, kind of scarlet color of his coat.
Go ahead and post it, Brian. It's fine.
I like to do posters. I like to do a poster of my own character with some kind of cool shot with showing a bunch of characters, a bunch of different characters that would be in this story, but do it in really nice, vibrant color. But to answer your question, yeah, there's a couple different ways I want to color this. I think I want to try. If I did use paint, I think it would be watercolor. But I don't want to take the chance of ruining this black and white ink piece, and that's why I always like to do them over again, so I have a separate copy of it. Once I put color to this, it's there, man. It's either good or it's bad. If it's bad, I'd have to redraw it anyway. But you're right, man. There's a lot of different ways to do it. A lot of different techniques that could be utilized.
Oh. Alright, hang on.
What's going on?
He's trying to share the link to that video. Got it filtered out. Alright, Brian, I just made you mod in the channel, so maybe it'll let you post that link now. If not, you can probably send it in a whisper.
Okay, we haven't got too much more to do on this. We're just getting it inked. A little bit more. I'm going to take a couple minutes. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you for watching. This is Mike Jones Draws. We're working on our tree panel symbol. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what's new with you, Brian. Just kind of curious about, you know, your school, your training as well. You're constantly gonna have new pieces, man, but they look good, man.
I really like your work, Brian. I'll be back in a minute. I'm doing something. I'll be right there.
That's good, man. Tired of gaming. Blasphemy.
Tired of what?
Gaming.
Gaming? Who's gaming? Him? He's gaming?
Naturally, Brian. I can't wait for you to tell us you got hired on at Marvel or Capcom.
He doesn't want to do comics.
Right. Like modeling.
Okay, figure study. Cool, man.
Just keeping them busy for you, man.
That's cool, man. Yep, you gotta practice on your perspective, and your perspective's pretty good, I think.
Definitely.
I need to work on my perspective a little bit myself.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Brian.
It's nice of you to come by, man. You can come by and see us anytime you want.
Just get you set up for the Twitch machine. Easy peasy. Twitch and squeezy.
Okay, folks, sorry about that. We're back. Did you miss me? Anyway, here we go. Back on this. It's just basically design patterns and things like, it's not.
Brian says, are you coloring that today?
No, I won't get to that today, unfortunately, but I will have it all inked by the end of the program, I think. We're listening to a combination of two soundtracks today. Listening to Safety Last, a classic 1923 comedy with Harold Lloyd, and we're listening to the 1922 version of Robin Hood, Douglas Fairbanks movie, which was the first time that Robin Hood was ever put on screen, and this is the soundtrack to that. These are silent films we're talking about, and many of them have passed into public domain. So we can use the soundtracks without any fear of copyright infringement. Love to use more modern music and other types of music, but unfortunately, the copyright laws prohibit that.
We don't have permission. Minor details.
We are going to put together a theme song for the Scarlet Mutton. We're going to make that official. We're going to do it. You and I are going to do a 1 minute or a 1.5 minute animated opening to this character with the theme song in it.
That's right.
Like you'd see on a Saturday morning cartoon.
Of course, it's got to have a commercial.
And I think we've done short films like that before, and I think we could do that very easily if we put out a nice little storyboard.
Definitely.
We already started working on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We kind of
scripted
thought what kind of action would go with this line of the song.
Exactly.
Remember, like we show them like up against the wall, like Batman and Robin with the light, with the searchlight on the shadowing on their bodies all in shadow against the wall. The searchlight going by, or maybe a machine gun hitting the wall when they run away, and then it says the Scarlet Mutton or whatever. There's a really cool little opening. I think that might be helpful in selling that concept as a series, to have a short film like that to show at a meeting. This is kind of what we want to do. This is what we've been able to do. We know we can do more with more money. You know what I mean? and sell the concept to somebody and have them help pay for it, you know? If they see a comic book and they see a set of cards, and they see these little films, they know we're serious. They see the portfolio and the scripts we've written and everything. They'll know we're serious about producing a fucking cartoon, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know that I want to necessarily commit to something like that for a long, long period of time, but it would be a great way to get started. Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Usually I'm a little more talkative during these broadcasts, and I appreciate all people that come by, say hello and everything. I'm happy to talk to you, but I'm really, really into this today, trying to get this done, because it seems like inking stuff is more interesting to watch somehow for people than maybe the sketching part of this thing, you know. And I just wanted to get away from the Scarlet Button for a week and remind people that I do other things besides draw comics.
We totally do other things besides the Scarlet Mutton.
Oh yes, definitely. The Scarlet Mutton is something that I had to get off my chest. It was one of those projects that been staring me in the face for a few years, and I started it, and I thought, why not do it? Now that I'm this far into it, and I've got a story, and I've got pages drawn, and there's no way I can back out of finishing it now. I've got to do it. But really, to be honest with you, the Scarlet Mutton was not the first choice I had for doing a comic. It wasn't the first story that I really want to do. The other ones are going to take a little longer than the Scarlet Mutton because they're a little more of a different style of drawing would be required for those characters. The Scarlet Mutton is more of a cartoony style, which is a lot faster for me to produce than trying to do somewhat like more realistic looking work.
Also,
it takes me a while to do that kind of work. I mean, I'm very detail oriented when it comes to that kind of stuff. And if I did if I was doing human beings, it would look different, and it would be totally different. But the Scarlet Mutton is like an homage to the Green Hornet, but it's also kind of an homage to serials, motion picture serial chapter plays, and it's also a nod to, in its own way, in little ways, it's a nod to a lot of different characters that, have similar tropes in them. It's a nod to all the masked heroes, and it was something I felt that I could do reasonably quickly as far as writing in it. I've told people this before. I never had much confidence in my writing abilities, and I think that's what kept me from making a comic up to this point of completing one. And it was just on my bucket list. I ain't getting no younger, and I want to be able to say that I made one before God takes me up to the big waiting room. And if it turns out well, then there will be others. I have a lot of other characters that I have written treatments for and or done model sheets of, and also have done a few pages of story of a few of them, and they're totally different and look totally different. But again, the intricacies of the script are what holding me back. I get into these things and then I decide, where the hell am I taking these characters? What am I going to do with them? Not only is it the design of the look of the characters, but also the way that they act, what they say, how what kind of character they are. What?
The characteristics of the character.
Exactly. Who is this character and why the hell should we care about him? So this story is simple. It's somewhat predictable, I would have to say too. But I think that I have added certain little elements to it that make it fun and brisk and just a nice little ride.
Enjoyable.
Yeah, without, it's the equivalent of fluff television. That's what I call it. Fluff TV is TV shows that you watch
like a Saturday morning
and promptly forget after you've watched them. You laugh and go, ha 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 ha,
mm-hmm.
But you don't remember the plot the next day.
Right.
That's fluff television, not the kind of television that's supposed to make you think or make you give you some kind of an important message. It's not thought-provoking like the Twilight Zone or something, but it does give a message of crime doesn't pay and honesty pays off in the end, and the good guys always beat the bad guys. That's the way it is, and we'd like to continue that trend in a world where it seems like the bad guys win sometimes.
The world of the anti-hero.
That's sort of why, it's sort of why we cheered guys like Bernard Goetz. And is that his name? He was the guy that they inspired the Death Wish movies with Charles Bronson. The vigilante, the guy that took the law into his own hands, and I think his name was Bernard Goetz, and he was on the subway in New York or something. And some guy tried to mug him, and he shot him. And he became a hero, kind of an anti-hero. Yeah. People saying, nobody's, leave me alone. I have the right to shoot you, But it was a big deal. He had to go to court and all that. It was, I think that they ruled in his favor, I think. Self-defense or something. I'd have to look it up to be sure again and refresh my mind. But I know that was in the early 70s. And that inspired the Death Wish films, which is about a New York architect whose family is murdered, and he goes on a self-vigilante hunt for these characters, and he shoots everybody, just kills them. He's the Punisher, It was a very popular series of films. It ran probably, I think there were 2 or 3 sequels to it.
I know about the Death Wish.
Charles Bronson was always one of my favorite tough guy movie actors.
He was cold.
He could be very cold in his films. He played bad guys a lot of times as well as good guys, or guys that were were good, but they are bad. Good bad guys and bad good guys. There's a TV show right now that my roommate Corey watches. It's a police procedural, much like the NCIS series is. And it's the cops though are very they don't always play by the book to get their to catch their criminals. They push the limits of people's rights and push the limits of good copping, being a cop, because they have they almost play like their interrogations. But this one character anyway, I forgot his name. He brutalizes these suspects, man. He brutalizes them, man, and gets what he wants out of them, and terrorizes them to the point where they're scared of him, like they would be of Batman or something, He makes them think he's going to kill them. Of course, he doesn't do it actually, but that's not allowed. That kind of police brutality is not allowed when you're questioning a suspect. But these guys are brutal. They're determined to get what they want, and they break the rules. And internal affairs is always all over them, but they can't prove anything on them, and they get the job done. So that's an interesting take on cop shows. I think it's called Chicago NYPD or something like that. I forgot the actors that are in it. I've never seen him, but I really like the guy who plays the brutal cop. I think he's like the head of the group, and he's the most corrupt. Corey could tell you more about that. I don't watch it very often. I've seen a few episodes. When you watch that, it does kind of play like he's Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, or Daredevil, or somebody like that who goes into Hell's Kitchen and beats the crap out of these guys and gets information, something a police officer's not supposed to do. But these guys do it, and that makes them interesting. You wonder if they really don't deserve to be ferreted out by internal affairs, that maybe they don't deserve to be punished. Thunder.
You've
Getting a
been.
nice little thunderstorm out there. I'm so oblivious to it.
Yeah, it's passed by a thing, and it's off and on. It can't make up its mind.
I see.
It's big cumulonimbus mind. Marshall's getting nervous.
I watched a really good episode of Kung Fu this morning. And I woke up and just popped it in.
From
and
the
went back
archive?
From the archive. I hadn't watched too many of those. I don't remember all. I remember a few episodes from when I used to watch it, but this one was interesting because it featured, it was like the third episode in the series, and it featured David Carradine, of course, plays Kwai Chang Caine, the wandering priest, right, in the West. And in this episode, his real-life father and brother, who are both actors, John Carradine, the famous John Carradine, and his brother, who played in the, what's his name? Robert Carradine. Robert Carradine, who played in the Revenge of the Nerds movies. Remember those?
Wait, who was he in that?
He played this mute character. He was a teenager when he did this. And he hung around with John Carradine, who played this kind of strange preacher who befriends Caine, who saves Caine's life, and Caine helps him build a church. Anyway, the episode was cool because it featured the real life family acting together. I don't know how many times that they actually did that.
Who was the Carradine in the Nerds? Who was
John Carradine?
Yeah, who did he play in the Nerds?
In what movie?
He said he was in Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, he played one of the head nerds. He played the one with the glasses and the kind of hook nose, the dark-haired one.
Okay, that's him.
The lead nerd. He was the lead nerd. The main guy that got sent to the college. All of them were important, but he was like the leader or something, I guess, unspoken.
Yeah.
And he's played in a lot of things. He's been in a lot of stuff. Oh, he was in No, they have another brother named Keith Carradine from the Carradine acting dynasty, and he played in a movie that I really liked once called
Gilbert. That was his name.
Yes, I think that was his name, Gilbert. Yep. Yeah, that was a cool series.
I loved those movies as a kid. Like, those are up there, probably the top 3 of the 80s movies. Revenge of the Nerds, that's
what we say, 3. Okay, 80s movies. Let's see, the top 80s movies?
Revenge of the Nerds is up there, man.
In the 80s, throughout the whole decade?
Yeah.
All right, let's start with 1981. Let's say 1981, one of the biggest movies was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay, that's a good one.
Okay, and I forget, when did E.T. come out? E.T. was huge. And the Return of the Jedi, and that was in 83, and in 80 was the sequel to Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, what about 85 up?
Okay, from 85
late
up.
80s.
85. Okay, well.
The Nerds is up there, man. It's on.
Revenge of the Nerds, I think, was in 1986.
Nerds.
I need to look that up. Well, I think I just about got this thing inked. And do a little more racing on it. Funny we haven't heard from the card stuntman today.
You say that every week, and then he shows up.
You're right. He's probably watching right now. Holy
crap! That's just insane. My mind is blown right now.
Why? Is that him? Very 420. Thank you, man. It is.
My mind.
I know. As soon as I say the words "card stuntman," poof! Like the magic man that he is, he appears.
420, blaze it, bro.
Good to see you, card stuntman. Working up a little of this Zentangle here.
So, card stuntman, this piece is one of 5. You've seen the black skull. You'll see it in the rotation in the top left. This is the green tree.
It's the green tree, and I just threw in a bunch of crap. I'm going to figure out a way to color it. Probably redraw it so that I can color it separately and leave this black and white piece alone. Try coloring it with on a separate board. And see what I can do with the colors. I think a lot of it could be this. Just swash of color and then just throw a little ink over it. Make it look great.
He's considering watercolor card stunt, man.
That is true. Little watercolor to some wash, like real wash colors, and then go over it and crisp it up with ink lines and stuff. You're just talking about an episode of TV show I saw this morning. Probably, I'm sure you've seen it, Scotty. It was the episode of Kung Fu, where where David Carradine's father and his brother co-starred with him, John Carradine and Robert Carradine. It was a cool episode called Dark Angel, which I highly recommend. It was an interesting watch. All right, let's see what else we can do this now. Not much more I want to do there. I think we're going to leave this as it is. I'll sign it. Put 21 on it. Even though I originally drew this 3 years ago. 2.5, almost 3 years ago. And I am going to color it, but not today. Maybe next week, ink one of the other ones. Oops. Ink one of the other ones. Start the cycle of getting all five of them done. The only one that is totally done right now is the mana symbol, the black mana symbol, the skull. It's the only one that we ever finished. This is the second one that I'm doing.
Totally not a mana symbol, though.
No. Totally not.
Yeah, now it's raining.
You know, it's funny, man. You seem to be less afraid of the copyright of the music than you are of offending the gaming community.
What?
The game.
What are you talking
The
about?
game that this is that you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it's,
We're not supposed to talk about that.
paradised, man. It's Zentangle. This is unique.
That's right. It's not. It just a tree. Trees are not copyright.
It's inspired by. It's not.
It's
a
inspired by,
direct
right? Just like my comic strip is inspired by the Green Hornet, but it isn't the Green Hornet.
Right. It's the legality. I'm okay with the concept.
Okay. I understand your trepidation with that. Okay, I'm gonna call that finished for now. That's our green power symbol, mana symbol, whatever you want to call it. If you don't want to call it that, then it isn't that. I'm afraid when I do redo this, I'm going to rework some of this. I'm not really happy with this part. I think I can do that better. So I think that when I end this part here, it doesn't flow the way I want it to. The rest of it, I think I'm kind of happy with, actually. Except redo the sun rays. There's a couple of things I think I'd do differently on the second one when I ink it again, and when I paint it. I think I'm going to do it differently. Not much differently, just
tweaks.
Just tweak a few little things that I think would be interesting, color-wise, and do some of this stuff with the brush to get these swirls, and then go back over them with a maybe ink and a brush and do the swirls kind of like that. Plan them out a little more. I should have redrawn this part of it today. I should have erased it all and just made some more something. I just kind of went with it so it doesn't look as nice as I wanted it to. It's not even. It's fun. All right, that's our tree. And we're going to go back to, I'm going to go back to working on my 2-page spread for my comic book here for pages 14 and 15. This is our break from the Scarlet Mutton. Okay, we're doing something totally different and outside the box. When I finish this and color it and do it will be a piece on my store. So please, anyone watching, if you have a chance and you haven't seen what we have to offer in our store, go ahead and check it out. See if there's anything there you'd like a t-shirt made out of, or a
puzzle,
or a shower curtain,
a portable battery charger,
a tote bag,
a phone case.
We got all that stuff, and you can put any of my work. And if you don't like what you see, well, come commission me. I'll do something special for you, and we'll put it on the store. And you'll be the first one to have it.
Now there's your commercial.
Now there's a commercial for you. Okay. I want to thank everybody for stopping in today. I'm going to have to let you all go for the nonce. You got a late start today, but we did finish this. We did start with a pencil drawing rather, and we turned it into an ink drawing. And now we're going to move on and try to color it. But we'll be back on the Scarlet Mutton again next week, and perhaps we'll shift back and forth and do a little bit of everything, you know. No bad vibes here on the Mike Jones Draws. Ever. No bad vibes.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it, man? I love you all. Thank you all for stopping by. Scotty, Brian, Kyle, Mandy, Casey, everybody that decided to come by today. Thank you, Brian. Later, man. Come visit me, man. I want to see what you're doing. All right? Card Stuntman, you and I have a tentative date to get together and play some chess. And we'll do that soon, I promise. I've been really super busy. Kyle, good luck with your house and good luck with the test. I know that you'll pass it.
Shout out to Paul Maitland.
Shout out to Paul Maitland and everybody else that stops in to see us. Shout out to my family in Holland. Shout out to my son out in Washington and his beautiful wife and my granddaughter and my other grandchildren that are in Arizona. Shout out to Rebecca Prieto. I love you, sweetheart. You didn't come today, but then again, whenever you do show up, I'm kind of not able to sit and have a long conversation with you. We'll talk. I owe you a phone call anyway. I love you, and thanks you all for coming. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully a little earlier, right, Jacoboon? A little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And we'll start where we left off with our exciting comic book story, The Scarlet Mutton. So don't miss it. See you next week. This is Mike Jones saying, keep your pencil sharp, keep drawing. Thanks for stopping in.
So long, Internet.